Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video, and today we are back in XCOM, but not quite as we know it. We've seen XCOM Enemy Within, I haven't done a series on it yet, and of course we've seen XCOM 2, like all hell, but finally I'm doing a proper video on XCOM Chimera Squad, which only released a couple of weeks ago now, and I've actually been thoroughly enjoying it, and also, upcoming next is perhaps my smoothest transition ever. Are you ready for it? And I'm gonna shut up.
2 minutes out.
Hey, Godmother, is this like the old days? XCOM swooping in and taking it to the bad guys?
I wouldn't know. I spent most of the war training resistance networks.
Like mine. And for your many, long years of service.
Watch it.
XCOM attaches you to an untested squad and pushes it into the field before it's ready. How is this not like the old days?
I'm just happy to be here. I missed out during the war. Wish I could have pulled my weight.
For which side, exactly?
I find that very hurtful.
Sure thing, Advent.
We are through the checkpoint.
I was never actually Advent.
But they were fitting you for a blocky helmet.
Stow it, both of you. We're here. 3-1 PD gave us the all clear. Grab your gear and prepare to move in.
Alright. So what is XCOM Chimera Squad? XCOM Chimera Squad is XCOM 2 but 5 years later, after we finally do win the war, which means I now have to win the war in XCOM 2, because obviously I don't want to screw up the timeline or anything.
To a hostage situation?
And, well, yeah.
Any surprises in the next room?
It's basically XCOM, but this time you're the cops. I forgot to put my phone on silent, that's brilliant. But yeah, it's XCOM Special Forces, or XCOM Cops, or XCOM PD. Just take your pick of whatever you like it's called. Essentially, you are the Special Forces, Special Police Forces, sort of like, you're sort of like the SAS, just not as fancy or as scary. Anyway, so, what's the story so far? Currently we've been taken into a place called, well, rather unimaginatively named City 31.
As I often say, the lessons from our past inform the present.
Blah, blah, blah. History.
And basically, City 31 is one of the very... Apparently, I'm not sure how many cities there are on Earth at this point, but one of the various cities around about. With its own Mayor Nightingale, who is the diplomatic leader of this place. She is, from what I can tell,
You need an escort?
a sectoid hybrid or something like that, and, you know, she's pretty nice. Of course, there's one problem, though, when you start getting people who you were fighting only 5 years prior into positions of power. Certain people aren't too happy with that, and, well, there seems to be some sort of plot going on at the moment.
Interesting.
Contact!
Speaking of people that we were fighting 5 years prior.
Clear.
Verge?
Yeah.
What took you
Say
so
hello to
long?
Verge the Sectoid.
Had to unpack a breaching charge.
Good man.
Not exactly.
You know what I mean.
I always do.
So creepy. Don't ever change.
Verge, form up. Any
Kind of
hostiles in
weird
the
this
next
having a
Yes.
group of soldiers who you actually have predefined names and stories and actual character. It's weird. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I mean, there are certain people who I actually really like, and the rest are mostly kind of
Open
forgettable.
sesame.
Like, sure, you've got this intro cutscene where, of course, you've got everyone like, what was it, Godmother, Terminal. I completely forget whatever his name was, and Verge. But I do care about these people. I just can't remember their names yet because they're still brand new. It's a bit weird being limited to having predefined troops in an XCOM game. It's always been a couple of random soldiers who eventually sort of assign your own story to and your own backstory to, and you sort of imagine them to be just like that. Actually, them having a defined story, it's kind of different. It's kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's like I've said, Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. Most of the people that you start off with, Godmother, Terminal and Verge, and I can't remember his name, I'm not too fond of. I mean, Verge he's kind of cool, I guess. But a lot of the more memorable ones for me are honestly the other alien races, the less humanoid ones.
Set up the breaching charge.
I do like to make an
Cherub, that's what his name was. There you go. Anyway, so how's XCOM Chimera Squad different to XCOM 2? Well, as you can see, it's a lot similar gameplay, but it is a little bit different. For one, you can actually have the option for your troops to heal in between combat scenarios, and each combat scenario is broken up in, well, breaching and fighting segments. Essentially, you breach, you fight through that room, everybody reloads, everybody heals up, and then you move on to the next room. It's very, very tactical. Yeah, whereas in XCOM 2 there was a bit of strategy to it, and it felt like it was a bit larger than life. This time it's very much tactical shooter, well, tactical strategy shooter, I guess you'd call it. Which somehow works pretty decently despite the fact that it's turn-based. Yeah. Turn-based tactical strategy. Well, it's not really tactical strategy, it's just tactical shooter, because it isn't so much you come up with a strategy, you just come up with specific tactics for certain situations. Like in this one, my usual go-to is, well, let's see, how many people are in the room? How many people are going to have a good shot on us? How many of those people can we go ahead and reduce? Well, how many can we kill rather than just reduce the low health? Alright, so there's our target, Mayor Nightingale. We have to go ahead and save her from one trooper and one person who's probably got a bomb or a detonator or something.
On it.
Verge, with me. Protect the mayor.
Confirmed.
Oh, is that a statue central? Oh my god, it's Bradford! That's kind of funny to say. I've only just noticed that. Yeah, I do like this intro mission because there are a lot, and I mean an absolute ton, of just little Easter eggs back to previous XCOM games. Like, you know, you got Big Sky there in the center, which I particularly love considering I've actually, well, basically been doing a PC based on that color scheme and, well, a bit of an influence from Aliens, but mainly from XCOM, so kind of interesting, and I do love this room. Anyway, so we've got what's called a Hardliner over there. He's only on 1 health, so we're going to use Subdue. Subdue is different in the fact that it doesn't kill people, it just makes them unconscious. Unconscious people can give you information, which is the reason why you want to go ahead and have people unconscious rather than
And
dead.
your diaphragm. And a few ribs.
Also, you don't actually lose soldiers in this, like, at all. Like, you can have them all die in a single mission, they will just come back really injured, they won't come back dead, which is kind of takes away all the stakes out of it, but on the same hand, it's sort of adds what I like to think of this as being a baby's first XCOM. It's nice, it's cheap, it's as tight as a cherry, and
City 31 shows the world how humans, hybrids, and aliens can keep a lasting peace. I'm the public face of this. Tonight, someone wanted what I represent to go up in flames.
We're not in town for local intrigue.
I know, but right now you're the only ones I'm certain are fighting for that same peace. Can I count on your support?
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I think going back to Sunday's video, this is actually somewhat related to Sunday's XCOM 2 video. Yeah, celebrating before a mission is over.
Package delivered to 31 PD.
She truly believes what she says.
That's why she's in charge.
Not too shabby for our first official mission.
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Celebrate before a mission is complete. It's
bad luck.
And that's why you never celebrate before you completed a mission.
City 31's Memorial Museum. The identity of her assailants is unknown at this time. The City Council asks citizens to remain...
So she gets vaporized the same day XCOM sends Chimera Squad to our city? You hear that voice in your head? That's me telling you to wake up!
Despite...
Also, another thing in the timeline, which means I've got a goal to aim for when we go ahead and finish XCOM 2. Well, obviously XCOM, it's now peacetime and we've got a new director. Take a guess who our director is.
The director wants to speak with us.
thanks for getting the mayor killed. Also, you're fired.
That's not helpful.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I'll patch the call through when you're ready.
I followed your action.
None other than Colonel Jane Bloody Kelly.
I take full responsibility.
I'm sorry, I love the fact they decided to use Kelly as the director. Of all the people, it makes me smile.
Tonight, you surpassed my expectations. 3-1 PD requested help within 3 hours of your arrival in the city. You answered immediately. Going in?
Since we was a bit difficult to just look at her just there, casually sipping on a cup of coffee. But the last time that we really saw her, she was literally cutting the throat off a, of the chosen warlock with a samurai sword. It's kind of interesting.
Table. Ready when you are.
Head over there. I'll hold. Welcome to City 31. During Advent's occupation, the city was a fortress supporting an active starport. 5 years after XCOM won the war, it's home to aliens, hybrids, and humans alike. There's new industry, self-government, and local agriculture to support the varied populations.
Varied populations, that's one way to put
This
it.
city thrived after the war. There were no retributive attacks.
Until tonight.
We don't know that. Not yet. But we can find out. 3-1 PD requested our help sifting through evidence at the Memorial Museum. They lost good officers today. Give them what they need and see what we can learn. Your work with 3-1 PD opened a few doors. Here's what we know. A crude plasma bomb killed the mayor. The insurgents had no access to materials for that.
Does that mean they had outside help?
Most likely. There are 3 groups in City 31 with access to this kind of ordnance.
Alright.
Grey Phoenix is a group of primarily
The way that
mutant
XCOM
scavengers
Chimera Squad
operating in the
works
city.
in the long run is,
Recently, they've
whereas
armed
last time it was
themselves
trying to
with
figure out what the
high-range
Avatar project was, track it down, and put an end to it.
Director, these are local.
This time we've got 3 gangs of criminals who we have to investigate, track down what they're doing, find out who their leader is, and go ahead and disassemble. Of course, that requires a lot of so much research, investigation, and various other tactical situations.
Focus on a single group. Investigate, dismantle their operations, and take them down.
Meanwhile, we look for any links to the mayor's death. Either way, a dangerous organization is off the streets.
Exactly.
See, I do like that idea, but let's be fair. The one problem with once you take out one dangerous organisation is the fact that it just leaves a void for the next one. And that's always the issue. There will always be an extra one. Anyway, we can, of course, hire a new agent now. And particularly my favourite one, Talk.
Torque.
Whisper.
Are we good?
I don't know. Did you get a lobotomy?
Can't say that I did.
Then no, we aren't good.
Well, at least things are back to normal.
Okay, for those of you that have eyesight, you can probably tell that Talk isn't a human. No, Talk isn't even a hybrid. No, Talk, she's a Viper. And not just any Viper, no. She's one of the various Vipers that we were actually fighting during the war in XCOM 2, which means, yes, she has gone from quite literally, I don't know, having a human-eating barbecue to actually having to fight alongside humans, because that's just the way the world works.
And fear.
About our arrival?
No, we do not concern them.
I mean, to be fair, Verge, most things don't concern criminals. Anyway, I like Talk. I don't know why. It's just, 1, she's a snack, and snacks are cool. 2, she seems to be the only one that actually has a half-decent personality, and she's a Viper, give me a break. I don't know what it is, I just like the idea of having a Viper as a soldier. It's different, I like it. Alright, so, gotta go ahead and investigate this place, see what's, was it the Grey Legion or something like that is up to, and hopefully we can figure out who done it. Because that's really what this is. This is just a super long game of whodunit to figure out, well, who's responsible for taking out the mayor, who had means, and why they did it. Nicely done. Alright, that is the first room cleared. We can move on into what I'm imagining is going to be the alleyway next. Yep, looks like an alleyway.
I'm getting a strong source of Illyrium in your vicinity.
Illyrium?
Point a location.
There's a ramen bar out back. Maybe Illyrium is their secret ingredients.
What I'd be worried about.
Surprise!
For those of you that aren't aware, Illyrium is the very powerful resource in the XCOM universe, the same stuff that powered the engines of the Avenger. So the fact that a Criminal Underground might have some, well, it's rather worrying indeed. Anyway, reaching on to the next room. Talk's out first. Let's see who we can get. Okay, that's one contact down. Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and deal with that Legionnaire, and then we will deal with that, was it Adder? Yeah, Adder. Okay, that is 3 enemies down. That just leaves the Legionnaire out in the open. Right. Now see, I was planning to use Torque's very special ability, which is Bind, which you may remember from XCOM 2 Vipers, and the fact they can go ahead and wrap themselves around your soldiers. That's what Bind is. But sadly, that didn't work out, so instead we just blew the guy's face off.
Whoa, I'm reading a massive Illyrium core in the next room. It's losing stability fast. Secure and contain that core before it takes out the whole block.
I am getting flashbacks to the very first couple of missions in XCOM. We had to get that Illyrium...
Move in, now!
I can't remember what it was. Generator, converter, phase power converter, whatever the hell it was called. The thing that turns our power... well, the Illyrium power into power that can actually power the ships. And of course that thing was set to blow if we didn't get to it fast enough. Same sort of thing here, so first things first, we really want to take out as many troops as possible and get the hell out of here. God, that took more shots than it should have. Well, that didn't go too well. That's weird. Alright, so we got a Python, and we got an Adder, and probably a couple of troops in the next room. Looks like a Legionnaire.
I can see everything.
I mean, I know they say you can find anything in a pawn shop. I didn't know you could basically buy the equivalent of a nuclear reactor in a pawn shop, but okay. 2040s, I can get behind that. Anyway, that Adder made a mistake in trying to move. Let's see if we can't go ahead and take out this one. Okay, that's 2 Adders unconscious, including the one from the previous room. Just got to deal with that Python now, and then we can move on into the final room. I do like shotguns in this game. Shotguns, especially these early on ones, they do a hecking ton of damage. Alright, so there's an enemy Legionnaire. Legionnaire.
That one sees
I
you.
can say the word Legionnaire if I try. There's an enemy Legionnaire in the next room. Let's see if we can't go ahead and take them out. Right, I'm going to move Torque up and get her into a position where she can flank him and get some nice, easy shots on him. I don't really want to risk subduing because they're based on mutons. And I remember mutons in the previous game counter-attacking anytime you try to melee them. So, not going to risk that one. We got another one. Okay, Legionnaire down. There's another one still in the corner. We've got to go ahead and deal with him, and preferably sharpish. Godmother, move up. Let's go ahead and put that shotgun to good use. Okay, 3 health. Yeah, it's a bit iffy.
On the way.
Verge, move up. Take a shot from the side. Alright, and that is 2 Legionnaires dealt with. And what you know, we've managed to go ahead and recover this Illyrium core. But yeah, this is basically what XCOM Chimera Squad is. A very fast, very small tactical engagements. I actually really like it. It's a pretty good time killer. So hey, if you want to go ahead and pick it up, I recommend it. I think it's like 16 quid or like 20 bucks or something like that. But, of course, we are running out of time for today, so like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Any thoughts or questions, leave them in the form of a comment down below. Don't forget to check out my Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch pages. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and as always, this is the 117th Con signing off. Have a brilliant day, folks, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, ta-ra from me and the team. That's the Banya, folks.
For special operations. Some ops provide useful resources for the squad. Keep an eye out for these opportunities.